About this love. About this love. How you guys doing today? You are tuned into About This Love podcast with myself, Dale, and my beautiful wife, Sherelle. Say what's up to the peoples.
Hey, hey.
Hope you guys had a good week, a good weekend. We are back again, like always. You know how we do it. We do it big, better than ever. You know, we always do it better than the last time. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say what's better. I mean, what's different? I don't know. I mean, oh no, we have our Twitter now. That's better.
We have the Twitter for the past 5 episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, you were saying bigger and better. I was trying to find something that we were doing. That might be better. We're doing polls now.
Yeah.
So definitely check out our polls on our social media platforms. Were you gonna say something?
We're actually trying to do videos too. We actually have a top of the line webcam area to shoot in. We just haven't managed to shoot any videos yet. So hopefully we'll do maybe 1 week we'll go live. Yeah.
So I mean we're kind of like pros now, don't you think?
Yeah. My wife, she's selling stuff on Facebook market shipping. So if you guys want some stuff to buy, check out her Facebook page and buy some stuff with her. Shop with her, please.
Oh, shop with me. Oh my gosh. All right. So so in today's conversation, thank you for the support.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Sorry. Okay, but for today's conversation, I wanted to talk about just the value. Like, I want to talk about what you bring to the table in a relationship. And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I've been hearing it over and over again. People saying what they bring to the table and what, do bring to the table, and, we could put our resources together and be together. And I want to talk about how when you are laying out all that you bring to the table, you end up undervaluing yourself or devaluing. What's the word? Is it undervalue or is it devalue?
I mean, let's just stick with under.
Okay, well, you are putting yourself on discount on the clearance rack. And I say that because, a lot of times when people are saying this is what I bring to the table, they are talking about
monetary.
Yeah, monetary. Like this is like the money, or I have a house, or I have a car, or this is the type of job I have, and we should just put those resources together. And you are so much more than that. Like man or woman, you are way more than that. Like, do you know?
Maybe they're not.
No, they are. That's how God.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm just saying, like, maybe what people feel is that the only thing they have to bring to the table is monetary gain or a house or a car. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what today's conversation is going to be about.
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying maybe that's how they perceive themselves.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I think that's the problem. Like, why are we only perceiving ourselves in that way? I know in plenty of podcast episodes previous to this one, we've had conversations about how when Dale and I first got married, he would say that I was making more money than he was. And now, like, that's completely different, which it was true. And it's funny because, I never really looked at it that way. Like, I never looked at it as, oh, well, he make X amount of dollars and I make more. And it may just be like that for a while. I really was like, I like him. I like his character. I like that he's a man, that's a follower of God, and that he has not even just saying it, but he is actually walking these things out in his life. He's implementing these things. He has those qualities and characteristics. Like, what happened to I like these qualities and characteristics?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I know people are like, well, qualities and characteristics don't pay the bills. But I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. They do not pay the bills. But at the same time, if they have a poor character or they have, a spending habit or a gambling habit, that's going to take away from the bills too. That's going to actually add on. If they don't have discipline in those areas, you know what I'm saying? That's going to add on to the relationship. And I mean, that's fine if you struggle with those things, but that's also something that I feel like that's a part of you. There may be a reason why you struggle with that. You grew up without having money and now you're a CEO of a company, or, you yourself are a brand. And it's like, now I have access to all of this money, but I don't have discipline. And now I'm in this marriage and like now we're in this rut. Does that mean you're not deserving of love? Oh, I am going to read this. So we had this awesome woman on our podcast like a few months back. It's probably been a year now, with her husband, Miss Rose. And she put this out. It's like the week of Christmas that we're recording this. And so she put this out today, which I shared it on our About This Love Facebook page, About This Love 211. Go check us out. And I thought this was so beautiful. She put, the sweetest love is that which is neither sought or deserved. And I was sitting there thinking, like, what does that mean? And she gave her thoughts on that saying, on that, nugget right there that she shared onto her social media page. But what I took from that was, we aren't deserving of a lot of things, but the Lord still gives to us. He still blesses us. And, we're not deserving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, when you think about what you value or your value, it cannot be based on what you feel like you deserve, what you feel like you have, and what you feel like you don't have or deserve.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I've actually, lately, I've kind of, on my TikTok, I've made videos kind of just the whole red pill, blue pill, alpha male, beta male movement, and just what do you bring to the table? Because I had a friend of mine that actually asked me that, and I actually responded and made a TikTok video responding to that, and a lot of what you just said is really what I was saying, which is that I didn't ask my wife what she brought to the table. I said, in fact, that question never even crossed my mind. I said, because, I can always observe a person and tell what qualities they have to bring to the table. Like, and I was, and I told him, I said, the reason why I'm actually not concerned about a person's income or their monetary earnings is because that is subject to change, either to increase or decrease. For a lot of people, I actually was talking to a really close friend of mine's, and she was sharing with me that her sister actually lost her job, being at a company for like 15 years, lost her job during COVID, lost her job. Actually had to move from out west to the East Coast, to because got a job with another company. So that can change. My monetary earnings, income can change. My wife, when we got married, we both were broke. As we said it before in many podcast episodes. Fast forward to now, that's not the case. In fact, opportunities are opening up for us left and right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that when I look at a person, what I'm looking for, or what I look for is this person pleasant to be around? Is this person, are they nice? Are they kind? Are they sweet? Are they selfless? Do they have moral values? Do they understand their self-worth? Are they moving with purpose? Are they just living life wasting time? Watching all the YouTube videos and keeping up with the latest celebrity gossip or celebrity drama, these are things that I looked for. So I mean, I just kind of debunk the whole "what do you bring to the table" notion, because a lot of that stuff really is rooted in two things: fear and survival. That's it. A woman or a man trying to survive, so he marries or hooks up with a woman that makes a decent income, or a woman is trying to survive, so she links up with a man that makes a lot of money. I mean, and again, if that's what you choose to do, then so be it. But I think that a lot of people who choose that lifestyle are gonna wake up one day, when they're older, and while other people around you who chose relationships, other people around you who chose true love, while they have children and grandchildren one day, you'll turn around and you'll just be by yourself. You'll be home for the holidays by yourself with nobody because you chose to play games and to chase a dollar. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that just the mentality and the way that we think really has to change. If you really desire love and marriage, then that frame of reference as it relates to what does he or she bring to the table has to change.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it does have to change. I think that what you're saying, I'm going to be honest, it feels very harsh, but I definitely get it. It kind of goes back to that scripture that says, like, you could gain the world, but you hadn't gained love. So, what do you really have? You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely butchering it. I'm paraphrasing, but I've read it before on this podcast. And I think that, people really don't understand just how much you have to, put yourself, I don't know, I guess I would say put the outward things on the back burner. Like that.
What you mean? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
but can you explain what you mean, though?
Yeah, no, I do. You said, do I understand what I mean?
No, I said, can you explain what you mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about to. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is just that, like, what you see outwardly, meaning like the clothes, the cars, the houses, that's nice, that's great, unless you are getting married solely because of financial gain. Like, I know, years ago, and maybe even still now, people get married to keep the money in the family, and then they think that they can find love. Okay, fine. If that's your situation, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging anyone. But what I am saying...
I'm judging you.
Whatever,
no, I'm
deal.
joking.
Whatever. No, but like what I am saying is just that those who are looking for love, who want a lasting 20-year, 50-year, lifetime relationship, marriage, it's like you don't get that by simply, they got this car, they was driving this and that, because things can change. And not only can they will change. Time and time again, we have seen that they will change. And also, these things can be taken away at a moment's notice. I mean, I've been through a house fire where my family, in the middle of winter, my family, we lost everything in this house fire. But we had nothing else but one another. We didn't have, the clothes. We didn't have shoes. We had whatever we had on our backs. That car that we all piled into and drove around the corner to save ourselves, and we had each other. That's all we had. We had nothing else. And it's like, if people don't learn this, that out of all these things that you can acquire, if you don't have love, have you gained anything? And not to say, oh, well, love is easy, love is this, love is that. There are aspects of it. Yes, love is easy, but there are aspects of it that are hard, where you have to push through, that is long suffering. And that's the part that people don't understand, so because they don't understand that, and anyone who knows me personally, I have said to them, I wouldn't suggest anybody to get married if, they're basing it on X, Y, and Z. Basically anything that's outward, I wouldn't suggest anyone to get married on that. On those terms, if it's outward. And I'll say this, even if it's, we should get married because we have a kid together, that's outwardly, because that kid is going to grow up and leave you. And then what?
Ain't no telling if the relationship will even survive
that
because you have a
up.
kid. You know what I'm saying? No. I'm saying if the relationship will survive because of the fact that you have a kid, sometimes that's just not enough to sustain it. Well, it's not enough. It's definitely not enough to sustain a relationship. But sometimes that reason for two people being together is just not enough to sustain the relationship. If there's no genuine love and interest in one another there, it's just like, whatever, I'm out.
Exactly. So here's the thing. I have an example. I was listening to this podcast episode, this influencer on YouTube who shared how she told this guy everything that she put on the table. She went down the list and how they could be a power couple. We have an episode, by the way, about power couples. If you want to go back,
like it was 3-4 years old.
Oh my God. It's back in our earlier podcast days. It was real. It's cringy.
No, it's not. It's good quality.
Okay. They'll talk about audio. It is good audio quality. It might be good quality. And if you go back and listen to it, I'll link it in the description for you to go back and listen to it. And if you found value in that conversation, then good. I'm glad. But no, so this young lady talked about how she was telling this young man that she liked, hey, we've been talking for a couple years, and this is what I bring to the table, and this is what you bring to the table. So if we join forces, put our resources together, we could be this power couple. And so she was in the mindset of building. Those are her words. She was in the mindset of building.
She's trying to build it. Sounds like she's trying to build an empire.
Maybe a financial empire. But in her mind, she was thinking, no, we could, we like each other. We look good together. We have this and that going for ourselves. So you're not using me. I'm not using you. And I feel like a lot of people will do that. They'll be like, it's kind of this like verbal contract when they're saying like, I'm putting this on the table. But basically, the moral of the story, she said that she realized that he wasn't feeling her. And they had been dating on and off for a couple of years. Come to find out, he was really with this same chick this whole time. And ultimately, it sounded to me like she was the side chick and there was a main chick. And he only kind of went with, her and got with her because it was like there was a financial gain, or there was some sort of gain, but there wasn't any connection there. And this is what I mean by you lower your value when you put out there what you put on the table, especially because it's all these outwardly things. You think you're building, like when people say, yeah, I want to get with you to build, what are y'all building anyways?
I think you lower your value. I think you lower your value anytime you choose to do something that may disagree with your moral beliefs or your standard of living just for a dollar amount. And I'm not referring to a job. I mean, I know that there are people who may have had job offers in another state. I'm not referring to that. I'm more so referring to like when you put yourself out there, whether it's like OnlyFans or a relationship or to sleep with somebody just for a dollar amount. I recently I came across a video where a young lady was talking about how OnlyFans ruined her life. And I'm like, nah, you ruin your own life, And it's funny because it's not funny, but what I'm saying is that when oftentimes when you read the comments, people just be going off on people. But she was just talking about how OnlyFans was kind of, it's like the way she described it is like it's like being the new girl on the block. When you first start, you just showing pictures of yourself, in some booty shorts, and then from there, the people who are subscribed to your OnlyFans channel, they want to see more. They want to see that's not cool anymore. So then you start posting pictures in your lingerie. And she said that's cool for a while, but then they want to see more. Then you gotta start taking pictures nude, and then they want to see more. They want to see you getting on with somebody on camera. And she just talked about how how she gradually went from just posting the booty shorts from just doing explicit content on OnlyFans, and how when she wanted to get out of it, she realized that it ruined her life. She had saw some of her content on on Reddit. She had seen somebody had created a fake page with her content up there. And she was like, it's just, she tried to kind of delete the information off the web because she's trying to, change her life around and apply for different jobs. And she was realized like, yeah, that joint is up there forever. Like she applying for jobs and they seen that joint. It's like, yeah, man, that kind of stuff that you do for monetary gain. It's like, yeah, what you may consider a quick come up, whether it's OnlyFans or a relationship with someone who is pretty wealthy, it's not really gonna last because unfortunately it's just that. And it's a quick come up.
I mean, unless you're willing to go all the way. They have a meme.
Go all the way how?
Let me tell you, they got a meme floating around.
She
on
went
Facebook.
All the way.
No, they got a meme floating around on Facebook that says, "I want a sugar daddy until it comes time for me to give him some sugar." People think that they want that lifestyle and they want like the trips and the money and the dates or whatever. But then once it's all said and done, they're going to really want you to follow through on what in their mind, they think you're already headed towards, or they already see you headed towards. So it's like, I mean, you've come this far. I mean, you might as well just go all the way. And do I think that you should go all the way? No, I don't. I think once you catch it, you should stop. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes in people's like moral compass, it's like you can't turn back.
But see, that's the problem. The problem is that sometimes, at least for the OnlyFans young lady, the money becomes too enticing. Like, think about it. Let's just be honest for a moment, right? You go from working at Walmart or working at Kmart or Costco's to OnlyFans making $10,000 to $25,000 a month. A month. It's like I made more. She was like, I made more in a few months than I was making in a year. It's like that kind of money is just too enticing. Yeah. And people usually, I'm assuming something must have happened to her in her life for her to decide that she don't want to do it no more. But unfortunately, once it was out there, once you was out there, you was already out there as far as the images being on the web, as it relates to that unfortunate, which is very unfortunate, but people become enticed by the lifestyle. Yeah. They become enticed by whatever's going on, and I think that oftentimes, like to be honest, in my life, if I felt that something would entice me, I just don't do it, because keep it 100. I'm a human being, yeah, and something probably can and will entice me if I go there.
Hold on, you need to say. I think you need to mention this. You are a God-fearing human being, because I think people believe that, oh, well, people of God don't do this. People of God don't do that. And it's like, yes, they do. Yeah. Yes, they can get caught up too. They're human. And it's like, do you walk around with like the blinders on? No, maybe not. But then at the same time, like, there's not enough discipline in the world for you to think you're going to go into a certain place or do certain things and not go all the way, or like you said, get enticed to go all the way.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. That's why you got to be careful and cautious about the things that you value, and really understand your own value, because I feel like when people don't understand their value, you can really be enticed, or someone can show you something that you could believe is where your value lies, and you end up just doing some wild and bizarre things. So definitely enjoyed this conversation with you on today's show. My wife had to step out and tend to the baby, but definitely just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning into our podcast. Please follow us on the social medias. If you haven't, follow us on Twitter, About This Love and the number 1, and TikTok, About This Love, Dale, and About This Love, and Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, peace.
Thank you for tuning into today's podcast episode. Be sure to follow and share your thoughts as we continue the conversation on About This Love's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Join the About This Love community on Discord. The ATL podcast episodes can be found on all podcast streaming platforms. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, please consider submitting a donation via PayPal or Cash App to keep our podcast going. Click on the link below to find our podcast and social media platforms. Thank you. Until next time, peace.